Hi everyone, welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. This is Katie Gehring here with another Throwback Thursday. This week I'm going to be showing you how I made this Season for Love card using the Rosette Heart Template Die, the Peace on Earth stamp set, flower circles inverted die, along with Versamark and white embossing powder. To get started, I ran the Rosette Heart Template die through my die cut machine with some very basic white cardstock. So this is not thick or heavy duty cardstock at all. This is probably a 65-pound Recollections white cardstock that I picked up from Michael's. I find that with this die in particular, I'm going to be doing a lot of folding back and forth, so the thinner cardstock just works a little bit better. And so you see here, I'm just kind of folding the shapes back and forth, and there's score lines built into the die, so it makes it pretty easy for you to know where your folds need to be. But the important thing here is you just really want to make sure that your folds are super, super crisp. So now I've done all the folding for both the large and the small heart, and I need to join the ends together. And for this, I find that score tape or red line tape really is going to work best. So you're going to do the kind of two curved ends together and then the two longer kind of flared ends together so that it makes a little bit of a circle. And then if you push down on the center, it forms the heart. So while I'm getting the other heart situated, I just went ahead and stuck my embossing powder on top of the finished heart, and I'll just keep that there until I am ready to glue. So again, with the smaller heart, I'm just adding the score tape to either end to form a circle, and then I'm going to push it down to form the rosette heart shape. Now I'm ready to glue these bad boys together, and to do that I'm going to use my hot glue gun and the flower circle inverted dies, the center flower, and I thought about using that same flower center on the front of the rosette hearts as well as the back, but in the end I decided to use enamel dots instead. And although the enamel dots are sticky, I am just securing them in place with a little bit of glossy accents. You can see there my fancy schmancy clothing tag plastic things that I keep in the bottle to keep it from clogging up on me. Now I'm ready to stamp my sentiment, so I am placing a piece of red cardstock inside my mini Misty and positioning the rosette hearts to see about where they're going to go in the finished card so that I know exactly where to place my sentiment. So I'm going to line things up roughly and close the Misty lid after positioning the stamp a little bit better. Prep my cardstock with the EK Success powder tool just to make sure that there is no stray moisture or static that's going to interfere with the embossing powder. Ink up the stamp using Versamark, and there it is. So I'm going to carefully remove those magnets, set aside the Misty, and get ready to heat emboss. And one of my little tips and tricks for heat embossing on the go is to actually use these coffee filters as a kind of catch-all for your loose embossing powder. They work really well. They're super portable, they're super cheap. You can get a couple uses out of a coffee filter, and then when it's done and spent, you can just go ahead and toss it or recycle it, and you won't feel too bad about it. So I've applied some heat with a heat gun to melt the embossing powder, and you'll see here how quickly and easily you can clean up your embossing powder mess. The coffee filter just folds right in half, and you can go ahead and pour it back into the bottle. At the last minute, I decided to die cut the red cardstock using the Lacy Layers die just to give it a little bit more interest and dimension on the final card. So now I'm getting ready to put everything together. I'm making a note card out of a piece of white cardstock, checking out how the die cut panel looks on it, and then I'm going to get out my foam tape and apply foam tape to the back of the red piece of cardstock. And because those rosette dies are pretty substantial, I'm going to go ahead and cover most of the back of the red cardstock with the foam tape just to make sure that it's really solid and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to use mono liquid glue to adhere these rosette hearts into place, and you'll see that I kind of deposited an obscenely large amount of glue onto that first rosette, but I was able to just kind of scrape off the excess with a piece of foam tape backing and then use it to glue the smaller one in place as well. So no harm, no foul there. And there's my finished card. If there is an older waffle flower stamp set or die set that you'd like to see featured on an upcoming episode of Throwback Thursday, just leave me a comment on this video or on the Waffle Flower blog. For more product information, please visit waffleflower.com. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.